Hello, my friend.
Hey, Jackie, how you doing today?
I am very psyched. I got a bunch of stations lined up, and my book is getting all kinds of great excitement happening out here in New York, and I'm thrilled to have a chance to talk to you. Thanks for putting me on.
Yeah, thank you. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and I'm excited about this book, The Joke Man from Bow to Stern. Can you tell the listeners a bit about it?
Well, it's approximately 30 or 40% about me and me getting started and some of the crazy stories I used to tell on the show about things that happened to me coming along in life. And then the last 60% it's all about me, but it's all about the Howard Stern Show and all stuff that happened on the show. And most people have a good idea of stuff that happened, but it's from my point of view, and it's a real timeline. It's chronological, and people will be able to follow it and realize where they were when this happened. And, and it's my point of view, and it goes a lot deeper, and hopefully it's funny, and everybody get a kick out of it.
Yeah, I love the early stories of working with Rodney Dangerfield and getting your start. I think it's really a great glimpse into to your start, as you mentioned.
Well, I really appreciate that. The people that have seen it and have read the the chapters are chronological and they're modular, so you can read one chapter or read 5 chapters, and you can pick it up anywhere. And it's a great format for that kind of book, and I'm hoping people will really get a kick out of it.
Well, Jackie, I got to ask you, what made you want to become a comedian? I don't know a lot of funny people with mechanical engineering degrees. So,
you know what? I had no intention of becoming a comedian. Just from the time I was a kid, it's so interesting. That's why I'm so thrilled I finally put out this book, because nobody can do the math of how that happened. But I organically had been learning and telling jokes my entire life, and I was a rock and roller, and just not a very good one. But I knew every joke in the world, and when I finally quit music at the age of 31, I had nothing left except my jokes. So I just started telling them on stage. I had no intention of ever becoming a comedian. I had no intention of ever being on the radio. I just knew I liked telling jokes and playing music, and it turned out that playing music wasn't going to make me any money. So I took a shot, and I started telling jokes on stage, and I never had to look back. I got very, very lucky,
Yeah, that's incredible. For a guy who didn't really have an affinity for radio, you worked with Rick Dees and then with Howard Stern, kind of the two big guys in radio.
Well, yeah, Bob Buckman gave me my start on Long Island, and he called my dial-a-joke every day. And then I've had a dial-a-joke, 516-922-WINE, for like 38 years. And when I first started doing that, it went around the country so fast, and Rick Dees heard about it. And he used to tell everybody that 516-922-9463 was Tom Selleck's home phone number. So the number used to blow up, and then I wound up being on his shows and Howard's shows, and I just went to the moon. It just kind of happened.
Well, for your work with the Howard Stern Show, I know you were the head writer for many years. I want to ask you what that process was like. I mean, because you guys had the TV show and the pay-per-views and a lot more going on than most morning show hosts would have.
Well, it was great, because once we went to once we were on in mornings, and then we syndicated to Philadelphia and Washington, and it was successful. Every time I got interviewed, people would say, "Oh, you guys are really great, but how long can it last?" And then, we're on Channel 9, and all you guys are great, how long can it last? And then Howard did the pay-per-views and the books, and he just kept reinventing things, and they were all successful, and we just went to the moon, and in addition to doing 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, I mean, we worked like crazy, but it was so much fun, and we're just riding a rocket ship, it was great.
Yeah, and you guys had such a great camaraderie on the show, and I know you did a lot of work behind the scenes, but it seemed so loose and kind of like off the cuff when you guys were on the show.
Well, it absolutely was. What I did was, like, if Howard's talking to Robin and I have something funny to say, instead of saying it, I would write it down and put it in front of him, so he had his sense of humor and my sense of humor and Fred's sense of humor, because I'd pass him Fred's notes too. And it just was a very finely tuned machine, and it just got better and better, and then Billy jumped in the works, and it was just so much fun. I can't tell you, just sitting there every day, the 5 hours flew by, Dustin, just flew by.
Well, I know it's probably difficult to choose, but do you have maybe a favorite guest or a couple that you always enjoyed having in the studio?
No, there's no favorite, but we always loved it when Pat Cooper came in. Kennison was always fun. Gilbert was always great. Richard Belzer was always great, but then, you have James Taylor playing music. I mean, there's no real favorites. It was a nonstop potpourri, and Milton Berle. You know what I mean? Who can you say is your favorite? But I think we laughed the hardest when Pat Cooper was there because he's just so brilliantly, crazily funny,
Yeah, and you guys obviously broke down a lot of barriers in radio, and I don't know if the average listener realizes, but a lot of the stuff that goes on today probably wouldn't be if you guys hadn't tried it out first.
Well, that's all Howard. He was absolutely fearless. If something in his mind said, don't do that, he did it and just dealt with the repercussions. It's easier to do something and then get forgiven for it than to ask permission, and he just plowed ahead, and we were right behind him or alongside him, and yeah, there's so much stuff that's just taken for granted today that you have no idea it was so taboo in 1986 or 83, you know what I mean? Even talking instead of playing songs, sure. that was outrageous at the time,
Well, again, The Joke Man from Bow to Stern is out. For guys like me who grew up with you and were influenced by you, this is a great look at how it all came together. And I got to ask you, Jackie, did you ever get the Jackie puppet back? Did you ever get that?
As far as I know, it's in Howard's studio. It is in Howard's studio. There's a great chapter about that in the book. It was missing, and they accused me of stealing it. And the way it turned out is that chapter is almost worth the price of the book. If somebody wants to pre-order the book, it's JackieTheJokeman.com is the direct link, and it's coming out Tuesday. And I'm very excited, and I appreciate your phone call.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to ask you your thoughts on kind of the stand-up scene today. It seems like it's as big as it was probably in the 80s now.
I don't really pay attention. I go and do my shows and come home, but it's great to see live comedy kicking ass. It really is, because it's so fun, and there's no entertainment like it. If you go to a club and you see a comedian, even if he's not great, it's a great experience. It's happening right there in the moment, and everybody's taking so many chances. I herald all the young guys,
Excellent. Well, Jackie, I know the book is just coming out here, and you've had numerous other books and CDs and your radio show. Is there anything else maybe in the works or anything else coming up?
I'm actually in a sitcom called Shoot Me Nicely that's about to be picked up. The trailer's at shootmenicely.com. My friend Elias Plagianos wrote this terrific pilot, and we're winning awards everywhere because it works as a short film. But Linda Hamilton's in it. And last week they announced that Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Cameron are doing a sequel to The Terminator. So that's going to put us over the top. So I got very lucky. I'll tell you, I have never been as excited about anything ever as I am about this book. Even Private Parts, that was all Howard. This book is me, and I think everybody's going to be really surprised, and it looks like we're going to be making a movie out of it, which is really fun,
Excellent. Again, I grew up watching you guys and listening to you, and I'm such a huge fan of yours. Thank you so much, Jackie.
I really appreciate it, Dustin. Drop me an email, jokeland@aol.com, and let me send you some Jackie stuff.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, bye-bye.